So who's got the pages? Eugene?
Do you see them? Oh, I
Um,
haven't shared screen. Wow. I am, what am I?
I think we're on Tara's Grief. Is that the name of the
Eh, yeah. Let's
okay.
see. Share.
Here we are.
okay.
Who wants to read first?
Why
Uh-oh.
don't I start? Because I'm going to have to be outside of the house
Sorry.
soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Tara's Grief. There was panic in Kishkinda when the news came that Bali had been slain by an archer, and the Banaras fled hither and thither in hopeless confusion. Tara, seeing this, laid aside her own grief, and like a queen put courage in her husband's subjects, saying, "Till this day you walk before the king to battle. Why then do you flee in fear now? There is no danger for you. Rama killed Bali only to make Sugriva king. Your lives are in no danger. You will only have a different ruler. That is all. You need not fly or fear." When she tried to go to the spot where her husband lay dead, the Benaras stopped her, saying, "We shall crown Angada king, and we shall make safe the fortress. We shall defend the town against Sugriva and his allies." But she said, "Now my noble lord is dead. Nothing matters." And boldly she went straight to where Rama and Lakshmana were standing. When she saw her husband lying wounded to death, she could not control her sorrow. She sobbed and cried. "Ah, my hero," she wept, embracing the wounded Bali. "How many heroes have you laid low? And now you lie low yourself, and you have left me here." Soon Bali's son Angada reached the spot, and Sugriva, witnessing this scene, was filled with remorse at the thought that it was all for him that this calamity had happened. The remorse was no doubt genuine, for invariably revenge, especially revenge wreaked on those who have been friends in other days, brings nothing but bitterness and grief, and the momentary feeling of triumph is all ashes to the taste. How few of us realize this in the confusion created by desires and anger. Tara rolled on the ground and lamented, "Leaving dear Angada an orphan, and myself a helpless destitute. You have gone on the journey from which there is no return. My lord, my hero." Hanuman tried to console her. "The dead reach their places in heaven. Why lament for Vali? Angada will be crowned in due course, and we shall then rejoice. It is our duty to look after Angada. Let us now think of performing Vali's obsequies." "I care for nothing," answered Tara. "It is for Sugriva to perform the obsequies and to look after Angada. What is there for me to do? Can 1,000 Angadas equal in my eyes my husband? With him I shall enter the house of Yama. That alone will please me." Vali, unconscious till now, opened his eyes for the last time, and addressing Sugriva, said, "Brother, we too could have been friends and reigned happily over the kingdom, but it was not given to us to be so wise and happy. I am more to blame than you, but why talk about that now? Hereafter you shall rule the kingdom. I have entrusted to you the kingdom. I have entrusted to you Angada, my son, dearer than life itself to Tara and me. He is a warrior equal to you in prowess. Be a father to him, and look after him with kindness. This is my only request to you. And be kind to Tara, who was not only a blameless and affectionate wife, but also a very wise and far-sighted counselor. Whatever she foretells is bound to happen. Do not disregard her advice on any matter. Here, take the necklace that Indra gave me, and take with it its secret power. My life is over, and so is my resentment. May you be happy. Thus the generous Bali blessed his brother Sugriva. He gave good advice to Angada, saying, Sugriva is now your king. Be loyal to him and give him patient, affectionate service. Like a flowering creeper embracing a forest tree felled down by an axe, Tara lay on the ground, clinging to Vali. Nila, as gently as he could, drew out the dart from Vali's chest. Blood gushed out of the wound and spread into a pool. Vali's life left his body. Tara lamented loudly. For the last time, salute your father, she bade Angada in heartbroken accents. Oh, my husband, your dear son is bowing before you. Will you not say a word to him? Alas, I am a widow and he is an orphan. The sight of all this struck Sugriva to the heart. He said to himself, moved by desire, I closed the entrance of the cave, and leaving Vali there, I seized and enjoyed his wealth. What a sinner have I been! It may be that in his penitent mood, Sugriva accused himself wrongly, but it is also true that, without our knowledge, desire corrupts our mind and leads us to wrong actions and entangles us in sin. Sugriva felt that desire had unknowingly blinded and betrayed him. Kama in Sanskrit stands for lust and greed and every kind of desire. Kama is man's eternal foe, which he has to vanquish. This is the lesson taught in the last 7 slokas of the 3rd chapter of the Gita. Sri Krishna concludes his exhortation with these words: Jai Satrum Kamarupam Darasadam. If desire corrupted Sugriva's mind, anger corrupted Vali's. When Vali saw that Sugriva had barred the entrance and left him shut up in the cave, he felt convinced that Sugriva had accompanied him in his pursuit of the Rakshasa, not as a brother, but with a treacherous motive. He concluded that Sugriva had planned to sacrifice him to the Asura and usurp his place. He became prey to his own fury. He disgraced and drove out his blood brother and nursed his anger. Anger, krodha, as it is called in Sanskrit, betrayed Vali into sin. Indeed, kama and krodha are the ultimate causes of all sin. Unless we defend our heart against these foes and keep them out, we cannot escape sin. Sugriva lamented, though my sin was great, he would not kill me. He drove me out and allowed me to escape with life. That was all. But I conspired to slay him and succeeded. There is no sinner like me in the world, and yet, with my last breath, he gave me the kingdom to rule and gave too the gift of Indra, the necklace of power. Indeed, he was noble. Why should I still cling to this base life, I, who brought about the death of my heroic brother? At least once a year, men that follow ancient custom utter the prayer, Kamokar Shit Manurak Karshit. That is, desire lured me into sin, anger lured me into sin. So saying many times with humble penitence, they seek to cleanse their hearts. This is a practice that all should follow, to repent and purify the heart and surrender it to the Lord. Kam no Karshit. Manurak Karshit. With fear and hesitation, Rama gently approached the weeping Tara, but there was no sign of anger on her face. The words she addressed to the slayer of her husband were worthy of a hero's queen. With the weapon with which, O warrior, you killed my husband, kill me too, and enable me to join him. Even in heaven he will not be happy without me. Do not fear, it would be a sin. It would be a meritorious act to unite husband and wife. This will cleanse your sin, your treacherous slaying of my husband. Valmiki says at this stage that Tara knew the truth of Rama's incarnation and saw Vishnu in him. The traditional belief is that, like Sumitra, the mother of Lakshmana, Tara, the wife of Bali, was a Janani, a knower of reality. Though at first she hated Rama for his treachery, yet when she saw him face to face, she saw his divinity, so it is said. Those who read the Ramayana as a mere tale would find all this pointless. But to the followers of Bhakti Marga, this will not sound improbable. Tulsidas sings at this point that Siva explains to Parvati, look, Uma, how Rama, the Supreme Being, moves all creatures like puppets tied to strings. Bhakti is needed to realize the full meaning of ancient mythology. Even on a rational basis, Tara comes out as a diplomat, an expert in statesmanship. She had the intelligence to anticipate coming events. What had happened had happened. By his address and good fortune, Sugriva had secured the alliance of Rama. Bali was no more, and Gada's welfare was all that she should care for hereafter. Could Angada afford to antagonize Sugriva with Rama and Lakshmana ready to support him now in hand? Peace, not war, was indicated. Hence, when she concealed her anger from Rama and put on an appearance of patient submission to events, she was really securing the best interests of Angada and winning for him the compassion and sympathy of all. Vali's obsequies were performed with due form and ceremony. After the auspicious bath, Sugriva was crowned king, and Angada was made Yuvaraja. End of chapter. Okay, I'm going to mute now as I've got to get ready, but I will try to get back and listen.
Okie dokie. Betty,
I'll
could you
read it.
unmute?
Yeah, okay. 45, Anger and Reconciliation. The rainy season began. Sugriva and his companions spent the time in Kishkinda in enjoyment, but Rama and Lakshmana spent the weary days waiting in a cave nearby. The forest paths were flooded and became rushing torrents, impossible to traverse. The search for Sita, therefore, had to be suspended. Rama brooded over Sita's predicament and was plunged in sorrow. Lakshmana counseled him to bear with the delay until the rainy season ended, and Rama held his soul in patience. The edge of the keenest sorrow wears with time, and perhaps the heaven's kindest gifts to men are sleep for the fleeting cares of the day, and forgetfulness for the deep-seated injuries of the heart. Kishkinda mourned her Vali for a time, and then rejoiced in Sugriva and the survivors. Sugriva forgot the privations of his exile and the remorse for his brother's death. He enjoyed to the full his present prosperity, and even Tara reconciled and adapted herself to altered circumstances in the interests of her son. The royal palace of Kishkinda was full of joy and drinking, and the gloomy months of rain, which the Raghu brothers spent in leaden repining, sped with golden-winged enjoyment for Sugriva and his household. Only Hanuman felt anxious. He could not forget Rama's business. He was looking out for an opportunity to remind the king of his pledge to Rama. At last, the rain ceased, and the sky was cleared of cloud and lightning. The air was sweet with the perfumes of flowers and the songs of birds, and joy came to life in the forest again. The intelligent and high, virtuous Hanuman now approached his king. Sugriva had entrusted all official duties to the ministers and was absorbed in pleasure. Hanuman knew that the wisest and best of men neglect their promises in such circumstances, and addressed the king with great politeness. You have regained the kingdom of your ancestors and are in secure possession and enjoyment of it, but something yet remains to be done. You must fulfill your promise to your allies and so increase your fame and strengthen your power. Even at the sacrifice of one's own interests and pleasure, one should carry out the business of one's friends according to one's promise. Only so can a king's authority and reputation grow. It will be best to fulfill one's promise before the due date. In any case, delay should be avoided. Fulfillment after the promised date is worse than useless. One should not wait to be reminded by one's friends of what had been promised to them. All this you know without my telling you. Remembering what Rama had done for us, we must take steps to fulfill our promise without waiting to be reminded by him. The rainy season is over. There is no ground for further delay. We can no longer postpone the task of searching for Sita. Rama may be very patient, but that does not justify any further delay on our part. Did not Rama kill your foe promptly, not minding the danger or the blame involved? We should fulfill our promise with equal promptness. Thus politely did Maruti convey his advice to Sugriva. The latter accepted it and, thanking Hanuman, ordered Nila to mobilize the Vanara army. All the world must be searched and Sita found, he said. Order, therefore, the most powerful, you got to scroll up, Gene, the most powerful Vanaras to come up and join at once. Those who fail will be summarily punished. Having said this, Sugriva went back into private apartments. Rama and Lakshmana spent the time in their cave waiting for the end of the rainy season and the fulfillment by Sugriva of his promise. But when the rains were over and the forest and its creatures shone with renewed beauty, Rama grieved intensely at the thought of Sita suffering at the hands of the Rakshasas. The world is full of life and joy, said Rama, but Sita is in agony somewhere, and I sit still here awaiting the favor of this ungrateful Vanara king. Alas, she walked cheerfully through the Dandaka forest as if it were a palace park. She did not mind the stony ground and the thorns in the path. What must be her suffering now? But this king, drowned in his cups and reveling in the company of his women, has forgotten his promise to me. Lakshmana, go at once to Kishkinda and tell this base king, remember, know that the path still yawns open where the slaughtered Vali went to his doom. Do not follow him, but fulfill your promise to me. Ruin awaits him who forgets kindness and neglects friends. Beware of Rama's arrows. These 4 months were like 4 ages to Rama, but to you, steeped in pleasures, they have perhaps sped like minutes. By delay, you incur Rama's wrath and seek your destruction. Go, Lakshmana, and tell him this. This was the angry and impatient message Rama wanted Lakshmana to take to Sugriva. Carrying this weight of his brother's grief and anger, Lakshmana was about to leave. Then Rama thought again. He knew Lakshmana's nature and feared danger from his rashness. So he called him back and said to him, in conveying my plates to Sugriva, do not be harsh. Whatever his faults, he is our friend. Point out his faults to him, but say nothing harsh. Lakshmana agreed, but he found it hard to control his own anger as he approached the gates of Kishkinda. Noting the severe face of Lakshmana, who was fully armed, the Vanara sentry became alert and made ready to guard the fortress. This enraged Lakshmana still further. Some Vanaras ran to the inner apartments and reported to Sugriva, "Lakshmana, furious with anger, is coming here, bow in hand. We could not stop him." But the Vanara king was tipsy and surrounded by women, and he took no notice. The king's servants ordered the sentry at the gates to stand firm and present the entry of anyone. Lakshmana's anger became quite uncontrollable. Lakshmana forced his way in. There he met young Angada, the thought of whose youth and misfortunes took away something of the edge of his wrath. "My child, go and tell the Banara king," he said, "that Lakshmana is waiting at the palace gate to have audience of him on behalf of his grief-stricken brother." Angada went accordingly to the king's apartment and informed him of Lakshmana's visit, but Sugriva was in no condition to understand. Angada saw this and took counsel with the ministers as to what should be done. Hanuman and some of the fellow ministers gently explained what was happening, and Sugriva was at last roused from his tipsy condition. Sugriva said, "I am not at fault, am I? Why should my friends Rama and Lakshmana be angry with me? Some enemy must have carried tales and set them up against me." Hanuma answered, "It is my duty, O king, to say these things, and I say them. Do not be angry with me. We have delayed in carrying out our promise to Rama. We have forgotten Rama's grief. It is late, but not too late. Hence, let us do quickly what we should. Let us seek forgiveness from Lakshmana. Let us, without further delay, take steps to fulfill our promise to Rama." Then Sugriva agreed to receive Lakshmana. As Lakshmana went into the Banara town, he marveled at its beauty and the culture of Kishkinda. Passing through beautiful streets, he stood outside the king's palace. Hearing the sounds of revelry, of dance and song proceeding from within, he saw that the Banaras had forgotten their promise and were lost in enjoyment. He could hardly control his anger. Still he held back from entering the women's chamber, and standing in a corner outside, he twanged his bowstring. The sound filled all Kishkinda with fear and trembling. Sugriva, hearing it, realized that the prince was indeed angry. He saw the danger and asked Tara to go and pacify the prince. A chivalrous man like Lakshmana will find his anger slip from him when he speaks to a lady, and it will be impossible for him to continue wrathful, said the king, shrewd even in his tipsy condition. Tara advanced towards Lakshmana. In looks, in knowledge of the world, and skill in speech, Tara was unrivaled. She said to Lakshmana, after enduring for a long time poverty and persecution, "Sugriva is enjoying the pleasures and the prosperities you have secured for him. This enjoyment has gone to his head, and he has lost his senses. I know his fault, but you should forgive him. The high-souled that knows the foibles and imperfections of our common nature should temper their censure with compassion. So be not too harsh in judging of King Sugriva's surrender to temptations of the flesh, especially after his long trials and privations. But I can assure you, he has never lost sight of his debt or his duty to you. He has already issued orders for mobilizing the Banara warriors from all quarters. Today or tomorrow they will all be here. Then the search for Sita and the war against Ravana will begin. Have no doubts, and now pray come in and see the king." Lakshmana, now no longer angry, entered the apartment. Sugriva, descending from his seat, welcomed Lakshmana. "Forgive my faults," he said. "With Rama's friendship and help, I am king today. How can I ever forget what I owe to the valorous and good Rama? He can destroy his foes without any help from me. I, with my armies, can only follow him. That is all. Surely Ravana will perish. The search for Sita will soon begin. Do forgive the guilt of the delay of which I am guilty. Lakshmana was pleased. Rama is your equal in honor and prowess, none else. He said, come with me to Rishyamukha and give him words of comfort in his grief. Sugriva and Lakshmana went in a litter to Rama and, explaining the arrangements already made, satisfied him. Rama was pleased. He said, you indeed are a real friend. Like the clouds yielding rain, the sun destroying darkness, and the moon pleasing human hearts, a good friend comes to one's help spontaneously. I am happy in your friendship. Now the end of Ravana and his race is certain. Even as Rama was expressing his gratitude and joy, great multitudes of Vanaras under their respective leaders arrived and assembled. They came from distant forests, mountains, and coasts. The dust they raised darkened the sky. Millions of monkeys and bears in a variety of shapes and colors were there. Sugriva addressed this enormous army and showed them their appointed camping places. Later, he divided the host into 8 divisions and set each under its commander thoroughly to search in the 8 directions for Sita. One point is worth noting here. The Tamil poet Kamban describes Tara as a chaste widow living a life of discipline and privations. It is different in Valmiki, who includes Tara and the other women as part of the inheritance Sugriva won from Bali. In fact, as an appendage of the throne. When Sugriva lost himself in bodily pleasures and forgot his duty to Rama, Tara shared his revels and is described as being flushed and unsteady with wine when she went out at her lord's command to allay Lakshmana's resentment. In ancient times, when an elder brother died, leaving a wife, there was a custom in royal and other noble families for the younger brother to take the widow as wife and protect her. It is difficult for people of one age to judge the customs of another age. Imagination and great flexibility of mind are needed to assess the merits and defects of usages with which we are not familiar.
Jai Baba. Mr. Surya Chandra Rao, would you care to read? If you do, unmute. I guess he's not at his machine. The Kip, does the Kipster want to read, or are you listening alone?
He's listening and I'm listening, but I'm doing chores. Thanks.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. Okay, well, I'll read then. Chapter 46. The search begins. Look, Rama, at this Vanara army, said Sugriva. All these myriads of wondrous strength are yours to command. They are willing and able to do you all the service you demand. Consider this huge army as your own and bid them to do whatever you wish. Rama, beside himself with joy, embraced Sugriva. He said, first, we should find out whether Sita is alive, and if so, where she is. Next, we should know Ravana's whereabouts. Then we shall do what needs to be done. But it is for you, not for me or Lakshmana, to command this army. You are their king. Besides, you know best what needs to be done and how to do it. Blessed am I to have a friend like you and a brother like Lakshmana. Then Sugriva issued stringent orders to his commanders at once to send divisions of the army to the four quarters of the earth to make a thorough search for Sita. After sending away the other leaders, Sugriva took Hanuman aside and told him, Son of Vayu, possessing the strength and splendor of your father, you alone can succeed in this task. You have strength, courage, and intelligence, and on you I rely to take up and discharge this responsibility of discovering Sita. Rama too felt that Hanuman's efforts would be crowned with success. Whatever obstacles turned up, he felt that Hanuman would find a way of overcoming them. He gave his signet ring to Hanuman and said, Take this ring. I am full of hope that you will discover Sita. This ring will tell her that you are my messenger. Dear Hanuman, may you bring Sita and me together again. Readers should realize the solemnity and pathos of the scene. Rama, full of abiding trust in the devoted loyalty and valor of Hanuman, placed the ring as though it was his own hungry heart in his servant's hand. The ideal servant accepted the sacred trust with a deep reverence and an unshakable resolve never to fail his master. Sugriva gave orders to his army. Sita must anyhow be discovered. No matter where she is hidden, you can and must find her. Within a month, you must return with news of her. And the army swarmed out like ants from an anthill and spread in the four directions. Satabali and his army proceeded northwards. Vinata went east, Sushana westwards. Hanuman, whoops, I clicked the wrong key. Almost found it. Let's see. Well, I'll go from here. After sending away the other leaders, Sugriva took Hanuman aside and told him, Son of Vayu, possessing the strength and splendor of your father, you alone can succeed in this task. You have strength, courage, and intelligence, and on you I rely to take up and discharge the responsibility of discovering Sita. Rama too felt that Hanuman's efforts would be crowned with success. Whatever obstacles turned up, he felt that Hanuman would find a way of overcoming them. He gave his signet ring to Hanuman and said, Take this ring. I am full of hope that you will discover Sita. This ring will tell her that you are my messenger. Dear Hanuman, may you bring Sita and me together again. Readers should realize the solemnity and pathos of the scene. Rama, full of abiding trust in the devoted loyalty and valor of Hanuman, placed the ring as though it was his own hungry heart in his servant's hand. The ideal servant accepted the sacred trust with a deep reverence and an unshakable resolve never to fail his master. Sugriva gave orders to his army. Sita must anyhow be discovered. No matter where she is hidden, you can and must find her. Within a month you must return with news of her. And the army swarmed out like ants from an anthill and spread in the four directions. Sadabali and his army proceeded northwards. Vinata went east, Sushana westwards. Hanuman, Angada, and General Tara traveled southwards. All were equally enthusiastic and equally eager to catch and kill Ravana and to redeem Sita. Each group was anxious to be first to return with success. There was tumultuous rivalry. Rama inquired of Sugriva, "You describe every quarter and region of the earth like one who has seen the whole world with his own eyes. How and when did you see it all?" Sugriva said, "You will remember, my lord, how Vali pursued me in all directions. Wherever I went, he still pursued me, and so I had to wander over the face of the whole world. I thus had occasion to see every part of this planet. Later, I learnt about the spot where Rishi Matanga had built his ashrama. If Vali entered that region, his head would go to pieces by the sage's curse. I knew that he would not come to that place and could not harm me, even if he came. So there I lay protected. The hordes that went north, east, and west returned in a month and reported that Sita was not to be found anywhere. Carefully we searched forests, mountains, rivers, and cities, but nowhere could we find her. Hanuman, who had gone southwards, is the lucky one. Did not the Rakshasa carrying Sita also travel southwards? And Hanuman has not yet returned. Rama, hearing this, was satisfied that the Vanaras had done their best. Hanuman and Angada entered and searched the caves and forests of the Vindhyas. Then they came upon a desert where a rishi was performing tapas. By his curse, it was devoid of trees and plants, of birds and beasts. Traveling further south, they saw a big asura, the cruel one, regarding the Vanara crowd as a good meal, sprang up to catch them. They thought at first that this was no other than Ravana. Angada rushed towards him and gave him a mighty blow. Unable to stand it, the Asura spat blood and fell on the earth and lay dead like a great hill. Rejoicing in the thought that Ravana was dead, the Vanaras searched the forest for Sita, but there was no sign of her, and so they carried the search elsewhere. Often they would weary of their fruitless search and sit down in blank despair. At such times, Angada, Gandhamadana, or some other leader would encourage them and make them resume the search. Many days were spent in this way, yet Sita was not to be seen, and they dreaded Sugriva's displeasure. Very far they traveled southwards in their search. Passing through a desert, fainting with hunger and thirst, they saw a cave from which issued a variety of birds full of the joy of life. The gentle breeze which came out of it covered them with the pollen of lotus flowers and filled them with fragrance. The Vanaras concluded, undoubtedly there was water where the birds and perfume came from. And the Vanaras, forming a chain with linked hands, plunged cautiously into the dense darkness of the cave, with hearts full of hope, though too parched with thirst even to shout. At long last, all of a sudden, light appeared, and they saw a lovely grove with streams of pellucid water and trees bowing under their wealth of fruit. Then they came to a city with streets paved with jewels set in gold and great palaces beautiful as a dream. They went along, and then they saw an aged tapasvini clad in the garments of a recluse and seated on a dark skin. The Vanaras trembled before the divine splendor of her face. Hanuman took courage to approach her. Bowing low before her, he said, "Salutations to you, mother. May we know who you are?" Thirsty and tired, we entered the dark cave, hoping for some water. And now that we see this unpeopled golden city, with trees and tanks, we are afraid lest this be a vain vision arising from the madness of too great sufferings. Explain all this to us and remove our fears. She answered, "How did you find your way into this cave? You will have plenty of fruits and drink here. This palace was built by Maya, the architect of the Danavas. He learnt the art from Sukracharya. Long and happily did Maya live here, till he incurred the enmity of Indra, who slew him. Later, Indra gave this golden palace to Hema, my friend. These buildings and parks are hers. At present, she has gone to the abode of the gods. But what is your purpose in coming here? Why did you weary yourselves wandering in the forests? First, eat, drink, and refresh yourselves, and then tell me all about yourselves. They ate and drank and refreshed themselves and were happy. Then Hanuman explained to the ascetic the purpose of their wandering. Rama, son of Emperor Dasaratha, for some reason left his kingdom and lived in the forest with his brother and wife. Then a Rakshasa carried off Sita, the wife of Rama. The two went out searching for her. They made the acquaintance of Sugriva, the Vanara king, and became friends with him. He has sent us on this mission to search for Sita and find her for Rama. Our king fixed a time limit for us to return with a clue. We lost our way in the darkness of this cave, and the period is now over. Now we do not know what to do. Sugriva is a strict master. For failure to do his bidding within the time set, he is sure to visit us with the penalty of death. Swayam Prabha, That was the name of the ascetic woman. She said, "Alas, you cannot by yourselves go out of this cave. No stranger who enters it can go out of it with life. But yours is a great mission, and I must, by my tapasya, transport you out. Now shut your eyes." Accordingly, they shut their eyes. All at once they found themselves on the seashore. Reaching the seashore, they looked round, and they were start led to discover that it was the beginning of spring. Angada lamented, "Alas, the time set has been transgressed. If we return to Kishkinda without any clue about Sita, the king will surely punish us with death. He hates me. It was under pressure from Rama that he agreed to make me Yuvaraja, not because of love for me. Instead of going there and losing our lives," so that was Angada who said that. "Instead of going there and losing our lives, let us fast and seek death here and now." Many of his companions agreed with Angada. The Vanara general Tara said, "I do not agree. Why should we end our lives? Let us return to the cave of the Tapasvini, Swamyam Prabha, and live there happily. There is everything in plenty there. Neither Sugriva nor anyone else can reach this spot. We shall spend the rest of our lives free from care." But Hanuman said, "What unworthy talk is this? What pleasure is there in eating, drinking, and sleeping in the cave, leaving our families in faraway Kishkinda? Sugriva is a good king whom we need not fear. And if indeed Sugriva is angry with us and determined to punish us, how can this cave give us safety? Can it stand against Lakshmana's rage? Will he not smash it to pieces and kill us? I see no benefit in Tara's counsel. Let us return and tell Sugriva the whole truth and beg for his forgiveness. This is the only way to safety." "I do not agree with Hanuman," said Angada. "Sugriva has no love or pity for me. He is sure to kill me. He is of a cruel nature. Remember how he killed my father. He does not want me to live. Except Sugriva didn't kill his father, right? Kill Vali. Rama killed Vali. Well, anyway, to break a
Rama
prom,
Rama helped, but you can also say Sugriva was direct fist fight, and Rama shot him from behind. So yeah.
yeah. So Sugriva instigated Rama to kill Vali.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to keep reading, Mayherd, now that you interrupted?
Yeah, it's already 11:30. Marvin might be going or gone. Oh, he's in somewhere. Okay. He's anyway silent. I will read so. To break a promise is not.
Whoops.
Oh, where do I start from?
Whoops. Sorry. I clicked the wrong area. Go ahead.
Sugriva has no love or pity for me. He is sure to kill me. He is of a cruel nature. Remember how he killed my father? He does not want me to live. He will find some excuse or other for killing me. He regards me as an obstacle in his way and that of his progeny. But who but for me would inherit Kishkinda? To break a promise is nothing to him. Did he not forget his solemn pledge to Rama that he would search for and recover Sita? Was it not only for fear of Lakshmana and his bow that he sent us on the search? My poor bereaved mother has succumbed to fear and accepted Sugriva's protection. She clings to life for my sake. Hearing that I am dead, she will end her life. Alas, I am miserable and know not what to do. My death is certain. He said again, if I return to Kishkinda, it is far better to fast to death here. He spread on the ground the kusa grass in the manner described for the woe of death, bowed to the gods and the dead, and sat facing east, determined to die. When Angada, the Yuvaraja, took his oath and sat in the posture of a fast unto death, the other Vanaras cried in grief, and resolving also to fast with him and die, sat facing east. From a neighboring hill, Sampati, the vulture king, saw this crowd of Vanaras, resigning themselves to fate. Having lost his wings and being unable to move, Sampati had been famishing for a long time. He now rejoiced, saying to himself, so many monkeys are going to die here together. I shall have enough food for a long time without effort. Meanwhile, the Vanaras, expecting death, were recalling the past and talking to one another and loudly lamenting over all that had happened. Because of Kaikeyi, Dasratha died, they said. Because of Dasratha, Rama had to dwell in the forest. Ravana carried off Sita. The heroic Jatayu lost his life in the attempt to save Sita. If the heroic bird had strength enough to continue the struggle a little longer, Rama and Lakshmana would have arrived on the spot and recovered Sita. By fate did all these things happen, and the end of the tale is that we are dying here. In what curious ways does fate work? Listening to these lamentations, Sampati stayed at the mention of Jatayu, who was his brother. Hearing him spoken of as dead, he naturally wished to hear the whole story. Sampati was very old. He and Jatayu were the children of Aruna, the god of dawn, and brother of Garuda, Hari's vehicle. Jatayu and Sampati in their youth competed with each other as to who would fly higher and rose in the sky. As they approached the sun, the heat became intolerable and Jatayu was about to be burnt up. But Sampati spread his wings and protected his brother from the fury of the sun. Jatayu was saved, but Sampati's wings were burnt off. Unable to fly, he fell down on a hill. Since then, he could not move but stayed in the same place, ever hungry for meal and just alive. Who brings sad news of my dear brother Jatayu? He cried in agony. Oh, one Ras, is beloved Jatayu dead indeed? Why did Rama, son of King Dasratha, go to the forest? Why did he lose his wife? Was Jatayu killed by Ravan? Tell me. all. The Vanaras had resolved to end their lives. The wingless old vulture had desired to make an easy meal of them, but now things turned out otherwise. The Vanaras got up, went to Sampati, and gently led him down from the hill. Then they talked and exchanged information. Sampati and recounted his story. Angada related all that had happened in Kishkinda and asked old Sampati how Rama could be helped. Sampati was old and weak, but his eyes had not lost their neatness. He could see things very far off. He could see Sita captive in Lanka and described in detail the wealth of Ravana's kingdom. He saw and described how Sita sat surrounded by Rakshasis in Lanka. The Vanaras were wild with joy. They jumped about, saying, "Now we know all about Sita. There is no need for us to die. Rama's purpose will be achieved." Should we stop here or continue reading?
Oh, please continue to the end of the chapter if you have the
Okay.
stamina.
Yeah. Sampati's troubles were also over. The boon he had received, that when he helped Rama, he would get back his wings, came true. And even as they were talking, young feathers began to spring and grow on his sides. Sampati now shone with fresh beauty, and he found satisfaction in performing the funeral obsequies of Jatayu. Obsequies.
Yeah, that's a I guess archaic word that I'd never heard it before the Ramayana. You're muted, Betty.
So I missed that these were now animals. I thought the Banara army is monkeys and
Yeah, evidently they're the same species as Hanuman.
mm-hmm.
Maybe yeah. So Hanuman Hanuman was a Vanara, right?
Yeah.
Meher?
Yes.
Yeah, Hanuman was a Vanara.
Mhm.
Jatayu and Garuda or Sampati. These are birds.
Birds, right. Yeah. I didn't read, I don't know. I thought it was all people, but but not so. And this is all I Baba said that Pukar was Hanuman. These are I think I don't know, monkey like. I don't know. It I don't know what to make of how it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, maybe back in the old days, monkeys and people inter
Change. Or
inter
maybe it's that humans who have the qualities of these strong animals, the good, strong, the
Exactly. I feel like that, Betty. One justification.
uh
You see, when our soul transcends in evolution, we would all have taken unique paths, and it,
yeah.
I think you can say the people who have attributes of
Yes. Of animal, certain
monkeys,
animal.
uh,
Yeah.
certain animals, they are
Uh-huh.
Vanara,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
certain birds, maybe this I can justify it like that.
Something else, Happy Valley near well in Maharashtra state, Happy Valley is a real place, and that is supposed to be where Rama and Sita were in the forest. Is that right, Meher Kiran? That's
Yeah,
my understanding. They were in exile in Happy Valley, which is you can go there.
yeah, maybe we have to check, but
Hmm.
places like that. But you can check it briefly in the history, Google.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Or
yeah,
ask some of those folks over there and who live at Marizad or Bad and
yeah.
no. But yeah, people. People take trips to Happy Valley when they go to see the caves, and I don't know exactly where they all are because I don't. Shirdi Sakori is all in that whole area. Maharashtra is really rich with history. The whole state, I think, going. Um, ah, boy, we need a history lesson. Well, thank you, everybody.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
think we,
hey, today at, okay, two things. Today at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Ron Greenstein is starting a new meeting, and it's about story swap. Just come and swap stories. Not doesn't have to be just your story of coming to Baba. It's any Baba in your life, Baba, any. So come and tell stories. That happens at 4 o'clock today. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern,